Hey Physique Freaks, how's it going? Scott Tucson on MetabolicMasterpiece.com, hitting workout number 5 from the Aesthetic Muscle Plan Phase 9, and today we are doing some unilateral movements for our legs. Earlier in the week we focused on strength training with the compound movements, so some big heavy lifts, and this month we decided to incorporate a bit of variety into our training, enhance our mind-muscle connection, and see if there's any weaknesses in our physique. And we certainly found them in our back workouts and our chest workouts, and definitely it's been more apparent for me in the leg workouts. I really find that with my right leg, I place a little more emphasis, or shift a little bit more of my weight on the outer portion of my foot. So I tend to develop a little bit more of the outer thigh, the abductors, and my adductors, the inner thigh area, is a bit weaker, and that's on the right leg. And not sure why that is, but we'll see if I can correct it this month by incorporating these unilateral movements. So left leg seems pretty darn balanced for me. So here we are on the hack squat. Really nice, especially if you can't do a pistol squat with your own body weight. The hack squat is a great alternative to that. Maybe not quite as much, there's not as much, there's no core stability really. It's just mainly focusing on your leg and any kind of weakness or quote-unquote unbalance in your leg muscles. Pistol squat, you're going to get a lot more activation of the core. So here we are with a one-leg Romanian deadlift. This is my first set, so here I am, a bodybuilding bro trying to get all functional and shit on you guys. So this is totally unrehearsed, unprepared, and just kind of showing you guys that bodybuilders are freaking functional. We do a lot of functional movements. This is my right leg. Again, this is my kind of my weaker area because I'm shifting more weight on the outer thigh. I'm trying to correct things here, so my balance is a little bit off as I'm trying to stabilize myself and force myself to not put as much pressure on the outer aspect of my leg. I'm trying to even things out and get my inner thighs a little bit more engaged. So that left leg, my balance was a little bit off. Right leg felt a little bit more comfortable. Now, I find like watching this video, and I could kind of tell in the mirror when I was watching myself, I don't need to go down so low here. The Romanian deadlift is a hip hinge movement, so I should just be sticking my ass back and throwing my hips forward. So it's hips back here, hips come forward, hips back, hips come forward. Once I get to that point where my hips are as far back as I can, I don't need to lean any further forward and create some trunk flexion there. So rested for 90 seconds and repeated that set 2 more times for a total of 3 sets. So that's the one exercise I'm really going to work on the most next week to make some improvements there. These muscles where it's unilateral movement, doing one leg at a time, whether it's the hack squat or the leg press, doesn't require the core stability, like I said earlier. But man, you can really enhance your mind-muscle connection by doing one leg at a time here, and it's really amazing. You shift the weight where you're creating the tension, the intention. If I shift a little more focus pushing down on my heel, I'm going to feel it a little bit differently than if I'm pushing a little bit more with my toe. And a lot of times it's not a great shift in weight where I'm creating that pressure in my foot. But man, it helps to even, bottom line, I'm just getting my head in that freaking muscle and really trying to control that weight right from the start in the bottom. And right now I'm feeling a lot of the tension in the quad, but it's amazing how you can shift that pressure and feel it more in the hamstring and the glutes. So it's a bit of an eye-opener here when the weight is nice and light and you're doing one leg at a time. You may catch yourself saying, well, I feel this a little bit more in my glutes and hamstrings. Well, shift the weight, the pressure that you're applying on the platform there. And a big thing for me is I'm really thinking of driving the knee downward, not just pushing that platform towards the ceiling. I am thinking of shoving that knee down and contracting my quads big time there. I feel the stretch on the way down, feel the constant tension on the quads on the way down and the hamstrings. And push down. So now I'm heading over to a landmine reverse lunge. So we have the, I don't know what you call that, little attachment at the bottom. Great for T-bar rows and a variety of exercises. Just a little bit of weight here. So we are aiming for 12 to 15 reps for both of these exercises here. This feels fantastic. I was really pleased with how this exercise felt. Again, just a little bit of balance with my arm out to the side here. Feel some core engagement. And again, with the lunge here, the reverse lunge, I can easily feel this in my ass if I just want to focus on the glutes and hamstrings as much as possible, or I can feel it a great deal more in the quads if I allow my knee to travel just a little bit beyond my toe and I keep a little bit more of my weight forward. I will feel it in the quadriceps a bit more, and if I keep myself a little more upright and my weight back a little bit, I can definitely feel it in the glutes and the hamstrings more. And again, how far back you're gonna stretch that leg out. You can really feel the stretch in that quad and the rear leg if you want to really extend things, but keep it pretty darn close to 90-degree angle for each one, but definitely not spot on. I'm not looking for perfection here. I'm looking for what feels right to me and where I want to feel this movement in my muscles, not in the joints. This felt fantastic. Again, rest for 90 seconds, repeat 2 more times for a total of 3 sets. Now the, well, I guess you could call it hyperextension, back extension, but this is focused on the hamstrings and the glutes. So I am not trying to feel this in my lower back. I'm actually trying to keep my back as relaxed as possible. And what I'm thinking of is driving my hips into the bench. So I contract my hamstrings, contract the glutes to get my body up. So the moment I start to come up, I am driving those hips right into the platform and feeling an intense contraction in my hamstrings right at the start, and towards the peak second half of the movement I'm really feeling the glutes engage, but they're tight right out of the bottom. And the other thing I'm thinking of is driving my heels into the platform. I find that helps me really contract my hamstrings and glutes more. This is the first time I've done this in months, and looking at this video I realize I need to work on my form. You shouldn't see any kind of extension and flexion of the spine there. I want to keep my body pretty darn straight. And the torso, I'm not trying to really look for the torso to be doing much work here. I want to really feel my hamstrings doing a lot of work, much like the Romanian deadlift. Moving on to another great glute and hamstring exercise. It's a one-leg elevated hip thrust. Hamstrings are fried at this point. I can really feel it. Glutes are cramping at the top. So again, with this, I'm trying not to arch the lower back to get myself up there. I am driving the hips towards the ceiling, feeling a lot of hamstrings, but you want to make sure that you're feeling the glutes, especially in that last little bit. So if you're not feeling it, just try to work on your form a little bit and make sure it's not your back that's arching. Make sure that you're driving the hips to the ceiling. Just kind of get your head in your ass, which sounds a bit crazy, and really try to squeeze those glutes towards the top. Excellent exercise to finish off. So that was 3 supersets. This one, once again, resting for 90 seconds. Repeat 2 more times for a total of 3 sets. Bodybuilding bros getting all functional this month. Looking forward to the strength training workouts again. Lift some heavy ass shit. Starting again on Monday. Hope you enjoy these workouts. Give them a shot. Hit yourself up with the aesthetic muscle plan and sculpt your body into a work of art.